Greetings comic book fans and welcome to Dude's Comic Haul. I'm Jason and this is my weekly video where I share with you the new books that I've picked up this week. This week being the 4th week of April 2015. Now I picked up my books Wednesday, but unfortunately I was really tired. And I was tired the Thursday, so that's why this video is late. I just was too tired to do a video. So it's my day off today. I've had a fantastic morning. Went and watched the Avengers Age of Ultron, which was bloody brilliant. I really enjoyed it. I won't spoil it for anyone, but it was a lot of fun and really interesting how you can see that they're setting up the next, all the next films, including the next Avengers one, but all the films in between the next Avengers one as well. They set up a lot in one. They do a lot of stuff in one film. They introduce new characters, set up the future movies, but also give the pre-existing characters a lot of story and a lot of to give them a more emotional background. So really good film, really enjoyed it. But yeah, getting into my comics, I got 15 this week. Would have been 16, but Divinity didn't come into my comic shop. This happens, you know, they get short, you know, changed sometimes on the comics. They don't get enough in, or they're missing issues. But my comic shop's really good. I know that if they get Divinity in next week, it's going to be in my box. So I'm not worried because they're really great. So let's get into the books. I've read some of them. Probably I think it's the first 8 I've read. But I'm gonna keep them in the reading order, so that I'm reading them in. So let's get going. And first up from Marvel, we have Star Wars issue number 4. Really been enjoying this series. Has really been a lot of fun. Has really caught the magic of Star Wars. Jason Aaron's doing a great job. I believe we're getting a change in artist. I don't know if that's next issue or issue 6, but so far I've really enjoyed this series, and Marvel are doing a really good job with the Star Wars property right now. We then have Convergence issue number 3. Yeah, I've read this one. I really want to enjoy this book, but at the moment I'm finding it really difficult to really get into it and enjoy it. Yeah, And the thing as well, I know the idea of Convergence is that DC are moving, so they wanted something to kind of occupy those 2 months while they're moving. But I can't see their end game. You'd think that, okay, we're going to have this event for 2 months, but after the 2 months, you'd think that they'd want to give some kind of something that's going to carry over, you know, into the New 52. But the New 52 isn't represented in this story. All they're doing is showing us older versions of the characters that, for people like me, who most of the characters I know from the New 52, so now I'm seeing these older versions, and I'm seeing that these people that have been saying for the last few years, oh, the pre-New 52 versions are better, I'm beginning to see that they were right, because a lot of the versions I'm seeing in these books, I'm thinking, wow, they were much different and more interesting before the New 52. So I just don't at the moment see the end game here. It just seems like DC wanted something for 2 months and haven't really thought it out too much. Just give us a story for 2 months, and they haven't really looked at how could this affect our ongoing business. So yeah, anywho, hopefully it'll pick up, but I kind of have my doubts. We have Ninjak issue number 2. Love this cover. It's a variant. Really, I'm not usually that big into variants, but I do some of these variant covers Valiant I do really like. And I've also the DC ones they've been doing. There was those movie covers last month DC done for their variants were really good. So I'm beginning to get a little bit. But the only difference with me and variants is I won't buy 2 copies of a comic just to get the cover. I'll still just buy the 1 copy. I'm not quite there yet with that kind of deal. Anywho, this issue in Ninjak, really good, and issue 3 looks like it's going to be the one where everything's going to kick off. But I've really been enjoying Ninjak, and the thing that was a surprise for me is the way that they have the one story that's set from his early days as a secret agent, before he's even a ninja, and then we have the one current story where he's the accomplished guy that we know. We then have Amazing Spider-Man issue 17.1, which features part 2 of Spiral. I don't know why they couldn't just have had this as a mini series, Amazing Spider-Man Spiral, rather than have to have these confusing numbers. I don't get it, but hey. Been enjoying this story, and has that whole old school Spidey vibe that I feel, I feel the core title is missing, and I feel a lot of the core characters right now in Marvel, whether it be the Fantastic Four, Avengers, Hulk, Iron Man, they may have like good things or interesting things going on, but they just don't have that vibe, that magic that when you watch the cinematic universe, some of the Marvel properties have. It seems to be missing from some of the comics, which, yeah. Speaking of which, we have Hulk. I've been enjoying what Duggan's been doing, and it's very focused. We have a path we're going down. Sometimes I criticise it that the story's moving too fast and things are falling by the wayside, but I've got faith Duggan's going to bring it all around in the end. I've really been enjoying this, but like I say, it doesn't have that old school kind of Hulky feel. Which, like I say, a lot of Marvel's key titles right now seem to have gone off the path of what made them popular to begin with. We have Black Widow issue 17, really loving this. Art-wise, it's just always a beautiful book, and stands out from the pack, and definitely I think this has been Edmondson's best and most consistent book that he's writing. We then have Ivor Time Walker issue number 4. 4 issues is usually the length of each arc for Valiant, so this should be the final issue of this arc, which I'm looking forward to. Things left very interesting last issue. We have Lazarus issue number 16, Sweet 16. This is one of my favourite books right now. Every issue just so much fun. Last issue was a bit traumatic. Oh, excuse me. Last issue was a bit traumatic, but this issue looks like we're going to get one of these side stories, because we've got that nun there. So Bernard. So yeah, it's looks like it's going to be a side story, which they can always be fun because it can open up the world a bit more. We have Invisible Republic issue number 2. I really like that cover. Really nice feel to that cover. I enjoyed the first issue to this. I found it a really interesting series, and I'm hoping for more of the same, that this is just going to get better and better, because I think it's a great time to be a comic fan in the fact that there is such a variety of books. It's not just superheroes anymore. With companies like Image, they're offering such a variety of comics now, and a variety of choice, that I think there's something for everyone there if you look. And with the internet, it just makes it so much easier to find as well. We then have Batman 66 issue number 22. A different writer this issue, not Jeff Parker. It's, I want to get this dude's name right, Mike W. Barr is the writer, which I'm a bit nervous about, because Parker does such a really good job on this. He just gets the verbiage right, the mood and the feel. So it's going to be interesting how a different writer is going to do on this. Fingers crossed, because the cover, I really do like that cover. So yeah, we will see. We then have now our Convergence books. It is Batman and the Outsiders. I had one of these books as a kid. It got destroyed. I had a cupboard in my bedroom that kind of built into the wall. It was part of the wall, and there was a leak, and a lot of my comics kind of got destroyed. So it was a bit of a downer, but so yeah, I've bought this one. Bit of a trip down memory lane. One of the few DC books I can remember as a kid. I've been a bit disappointed with the Batman title so far in the Convergence, so I'm hoping that this is going to redeem Batman in Convergence. We then have Justice League of America, which the synopsis said that this was going to be the Detroit Justice League, which means absolutely nothing to me. And looking at a lot of these characters on the cover, I don't think I recognise hardly. I know Aquaman, and I know Martian Manhunter. I think that's Martian Manhunter there. He doesn't seem to have a face though. Did he go through a phase of not having a face? But the other characters, and I think that is that Vixen? I'm not sure, but the rest of the characters, I do not know. Detroit Justice League, I don't know. Looking inside the books this week, it says Pre-Crisis Earth 1 Gotham. Okay, is that Crisis on Infinite Earths? all the Earths become one after that? You see, because I'm not like the biggest expert on DC, so this is one of the problems with these books, is it would really be helpful, like in the back of each issue they do have this kind of like 2 pages, but it would really be nice if in the beginning they put that at the front, and you kind of had a page where it explained what each of these worlds is. I know, like the first issue, the 0 issue Convergence, had all these Earths, but it would really be helpful if they did put a bit more information in these books, so that you didn't have to go and dig around for it, that you could just sit there, read the book, oh yeah, this is where we are, this is the Earth, this is what these characters are, and then go with the story. Yeah, I don't think in that respect DC have made them very, very fan friendly. We then have the new Teen Titans, which, come on, Disco Dick Grayson. There was no way I could not buy this. You've got Disco Dick Grayson. Like, what are you gonna do? You gotta buy that, you know? That just looks so awesomely bad. But yeah, different time I suppose, you know. But yeah, so I've never read like the old school Teen Titans. I always liked the look of the characters, you know, and I like the makeup of the team. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. This is one of the ones I'm looking forward to. We then have Swamp Thing, which is written by Len Wein, so I'm super excited for that. That looks like it's going to be good. And we then have, I think it's Dan Abnett who writes this. I'm going to check. It is Dan Abnett. So we got The Flash here, written by Dan Abnett. I believe this probably is Barry Allen, because I'm thinking, did he die? Was it Crisis where he died? That first, like, Crisis on Infinite Earths? Because I know there was that issue, I think it's that series, where Superman's holding Supergirl, where she dies in one of the issues. And then I'm sure at the end of it, doesn't Flash die? And that's when, like, Wally West becomes the Flash after the first Crisis on Infinite Earths. I don't know. Like I say, I could be totally wrong about this because I'm not the biggest expert on DC. But again, this is where it would be really useful. Because like I say, they put the thing at the back. But it would be really useful if they had it at the front. So you kind of remember, like if you've not read Crisis on Infinite Earths, you kind of know that story. They give you a little bit about that story and then about that character. That'd really be helpful at the beginning, but hey, they're not going to do it now if they haven't done it in the first issue. So those are my books for this week. The backup plan moving forward is my reviews should be up Monday or Tuesday. I would then be back at some point with a haul video. I'm hoping I'm going to get my comics on Wednesday. I'm moving to another department of the hotel where I work in here. I'm working as a room attendant at the moment. I don't like it. I'm ending up working overtime and not getting paid for it. They're basically like, they give you the hours. There's like, you know, you work 9 till 3, and they'll say how many rooms they think you should be able to do. And so they give you that many rooms, and then you work over, and you're not going to get paid past 3, and it sucks a bit. Plus, I'm finding it really hard on my knees. Arthritis runs in my family, and my mum was about my age when she started really having problems with her knees. So I feel I'm a bit concerned. Maybe, you know, it might just be my body getting used to the job, but I'm really feeling it, especially when I do like 4 or 5 days in a row. That's when I'm really starting to feel it on my knees, and I could just feel myself day after day getting slower. So yeah, last week I was lucky. I got out. I finished work at 3:45. Supposed to finish at 3 on the Wednesday, so I managed to get out of there and get to the city centre and get my comics on time. This week, I don't know. Sunday and Thursday I've got to try out in another part of in laundry. Where basically I've just got to go strip beds and take the sheets down to laundry department, and then take the clean stuff up and put it in the area for the room attendants to pick up. So that's hopefully going to be a lot easier on my knees, and also like I'm going to finish the time I'm supposed to finish. But like Wednesday I'm back to being a room attendant. It's not one of my tryout days, so it depends how many rooms I get that day. It could end up being a good day and I get my comics, and it could end up I don't. So at the moment I don't know. Once I get my books, I'll do a whole video, but time will tell. But hopefully, fingers crossed, I get, the laundry works out okay and I can get a move to that department instead, because I can't hack this whole room attendant thing. It's just a combination of the things is just not working. But we will see what happens. Anywho, that's enough of me rabbiting on with the saga of my life. I think I'm going to go and get a nice cool beverage and read some more of these comics. Thank you very much for watching my video. Please, if you've enjoyed it, give me those beautiful thumbs up. As I said, I will be back Monday, Tuesday with a review video. I've been Jason. This has been Dudes Comic Haul. Bye for now.